He wanted free and fair and reciprocal trade around the galaxy.
Blew up Alderaan.
Protected law and order. Well, I think some could argue that it was warranted given their rebellious activities. I mean, he defended the empire against unelected hippies and violent protesters.
So according to Scott Jennings, a former Mitch McConnell advisor, the entire massacre of a planet is justified because of some unelected hippies and protesters. Of course, Star Wars is not real, but I do think it shows that Star Wars can reveal the authoritarian fantasies and realities of the Republican Party and its enablers.
I love democracy.
Star Wars has recently entered somewhat of a cultural renaissance with its critical and audience hit, Andor, which tells the story of how the rebellion from the original trilogy came to be. And it began to hit a little too close to home here on Earth. The show's creator, Tony Gilroy, points out that this was written well before our current events, and is actually just pulled from research on how past revolutions have resisted authoritarianism. And I think that's why the show has been such a hit. It's not just blockbuster entertainment or sci-fi escapism. It's an authentic return to what made Star Wars, which George Lucas explains in this clip with fellow director James Cameron.
When I did it, they were Viet Cong.
Were you thinking of that at the time?
Yes.
So it was a very anti-authoritarian, nested deep inside a fantasy.
Or a colonial, we're fighting the largest empire in the world.
One of the first bigger pieces I came across making this case was from conservative writer Jonathan Last in 2002, which he followed up in 2005 on NPR.
I predict that in a few years it will be commonplace for people to root for the Emperor.
Fast forward to 2015, where Last's now colleague Sonny Bunch wrote a piece for the Washington Post called "The Destruction of Alderaan Was Completely Justified." That same year, Republican and then FCC Chairman Ajit Pai literally quoted Emperor Palpatine while opposing net neutrality regulations that would protect consumers from greedy internet providers. Fast forward another 10 years, and you have official White House and presidential accounts posting a AI-generated image of Donald Trump proudly wielding a red lightsaber, the most iconic symbol of evil in the Star Wars universe. Referring to radical left lunatics, the post read, "You're not the rebellion, you're the Empire." Bold coming from the guy with the red lightsaber, but okay. Now look, I'm not here to defend the Jedi and their problematic politics and flawed organization.
I don't think the system works.
Star Wars is ultimately science fiction, but I do think that looking at how Star Wars and other stories like it are used in our political conversation reveals something interesting about our political moment. Republicans are gunning for their own galactic empire, and they will blow up a planet to make it happen. Or in this case, they will blow up our country.